Okay. So, so, um, so you wanted me to do what? So which part? Do you want me to start from the beginning, or do you want me to?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
You're good at telling stories better than I am, so I'm just gonna...
Yay! Story time is Swappy. Da da
Yeah.
da. And then you add your lovely pots in because you're the best. Let's see.
Yay.
The wind was howling outside, and it was raining. A knock on the door would ring from the palace of King Forte. King Forte's palace. This is absolutely the best. I'm dying. Okay. The door would open to a tall, lanky skeleton, shivering out there in the rain. No umbrella could shield the terrors of this night. There were no shoes on. He had to cover his bony feet. King Forte immediately brought him inside. But he had
Come
ideas.
in, come in.
Come in.
Come in.
Come here.
Come in, crazy lady.
And decided to give him a little test, for he knew about this body shape of a skeleton, dressed in rags and drab, and clearly didn't have much for a skeleton. He figured to himself, what if I do one test to see if he would be perfect prince?
I don't say piss.
No.
Pissing cup.
No, you nasty. Be nice. This is... God, kids here. I'm kidding. And then...
Okay, kids, just don't tell your mama.
Oh my goodness. And Forte would think, what if I did the test where there was one object in a bunch underneath all these mattresses? Maybe I could have this skeleton be my prince if he can feel it. So he ordered his workers and his maids to put a tiny carrot underneath tons of mattresses in the guest room. Forte's maids decided to clean up the skeleton. Can have a nice... Giving him a nice bath and a nightgown.
What? Nice fap?
Nightgown. What are you listening to?
They said fap.
How do you get... Honey, kids!
Cut out that part then.
There's no way I'm editing this audio. Because it's taking forever. Whatever.
You nasty. It doesn't matter. Continue.
And when the skeleton was all ready to go to bed, he was quite surprised at the window
It's
bedding.
quite adorable.
Oh dear. I mean, the skeletons and a nightgown. I mean, there's not much you can... Oh,
Mounds.
Oh God. And King Forte, calm your shiz. King Forte, calm your shiz. This isn't even your time. And then, as much as he was confused, he would climb the massive ladder of mattresses to get into bed. To which King Forte would then decide to have some mate watch over him just in case, as he went to bed himself. The skeleton tossed and turned that night, was unable to go to sleep. Many of the nurses would be quite worried about it, but they'd end up reporting to Forte in the next morning. To which, in the next morning, the skeleton would get out of his room and open the door. He looked terrible. He looked like he hadn't even slept a wink. And King Forte would come over to the skeleton and ask, "How did you sleep?"
How did you sleep?
There you go. Yay! Put more of your input into it like last time. Goodness gracious.
Sorry.
As the skeleton would gradually look down at the other skeleton and sigh. "I didn't sleep at all last night. I seemingly tossed and turned and found no comfort, no avail, and I just couldn't sleep. I mean, I'm sorry about that. Is there a place I could rest just a little bit before anything else?"
Well, you could sleep on my couch. Or in another guest room, but that take longer.
Uh, all right, I'll sleep on the couch then.
Alright.
And as he turned around, King Forte was the kinkiest of kings, and gave the skeleton the most worst of the ropes he had, apparently. For apparently, King Forte gave the skeleton one of those girly night robes. You know, the ones, see-through ones. So King Forte could see all the bones and noticed that the skeleton had quite a array of bruises all up his pelvis bone and hips. To which he ordered his maids to heal the skeleton as he slept on the couch.
Yes.
The skeleton was sleeping, so he didn't acknowledge any of it. But as that was happening, King would set up a nice lavish meal just for him, just so when the skeleton woke up, he would feel a little more happy about sleeping at the residence of the palace.
Mm-hmm.
To which time came, and the skeleton woke up, feeling much better, of course, now with his healed pelvis and all that. He was quite surprised at this, really, for he didn't know he was healed. But waking up to a large table full of different sorts of food, he didn't know what to do. But he did assume that this was palace stuff, so he decided to start eating. But the first thing he grabbed was literally the honey bottle meant for the biscuits. And instead of putting it on his own biscuits, he just drank the honey from it. And that's your part.
He looks so cute.
The maids would be quite confused at this. Like, Buster.
He's drinking from a bottle like a baby.
Like, what's so perfect about this skeleton? Why do you have such an interest? How would you know that he would be a prince? Said King Forte. We must have to wait another day. We had to figure out if he's really a prince. You love me telling the entire story, don't you?
Yes.
I love your inputs though. They're kind of funny.
I forget everything was supposed to be funny.
Literally you
'Cause
rattling.
You recorded the first time we went through this. Oh, he's so hot. Rattle me bones.
Oh my god. It, but you gotta remember this part. It seemed like the skeleton was done eating, but he didn't eat all that much. To which the King Forte would be quite upset at this.
Eat!
But why?
Eat more!
But I,
Need some meat on those bones.
but you're a skeleton too.
That's none of your business. Eat a chicken leg.
But
Take the meat from that bone and put it on your bone.
what strange king this was.
He was truly mad.
Must be truly bad. For that, the skeleton would then eat a chicken wing just to pose the king right off and throw the bones of the wing away as he walked over and away to his room. Now everything looked much better, though it was quite unfortunate that he didn't sleep all that well. But the second night, the skeleton was sure he would be sleeping much better that night. Though, as he was walking down the hall, King Forte would watch as the other would walk down the hallway. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. Do you remember this
I
part?
forgot this part. No, I don't.
You're looking at my nightgown as I'm walking down the hall.
Oh, them bones. Oh.
And as I turn, and you're rattling.
Making noise.
You hear rattling noises, and right when I turned to open my door to my room, I would look over in your direction and
Squint your eyes.
and squint. But you hid right when I turned,
Rattle, 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 rattle.
hoping and praying that I didn't see you. But you know, I did. I would then go inside and shut the door. Meanwhile, Forte would be having the time of his life thinking about the strange skeleton that met on his doorstep, rattling his bones.
Rattle, rattle.
One of your partners would come over to you and go like, King Forte, you need your sleep.
No sleep.
Now!
No sleep for evil.
Oh my god. Wow. You can put your 2 cents in whenever. Seriously, I'm surprised I remembered this much.
I don't. I have awful
We
memory.
just went through this.
I know, but I have awful memory.
Okay. And then,
Sorry.
and then as the night went on, skeleton would toss and turn. Once more, he was very, very uncomfortable and was very unsure if he should actually rest or not, or just opt to sleep on the floor, for it seemed much better than sleeping on such terrible bedding. The nurses would go over to the skeleton and ask if he needed anything. He would always reply, a glass of water, which the nurses obeyed, and every once in a while, Forte would see his servants walking up and down the hallway, giving the skeleton glasses of water, to which he would ask why.
Why?
This is also the part where you ask if there was another option for me to sleep somewhere else, dear. Remember that part?
Oh yeah. Is there another option for them to sleep?
Yeah, the other option. You know what that other option is? Do you not remember that?
They could sleep with me in my king size bed.
That always gets me.
Pun.
Ah! Oh, I don't. That, that, and and then
Get some breath.
I can't. The servants would go over to the skeleton and ask of the offer from King Forte. A few minutes later, they would come back and report. The skeleton declined your offer.
What? What?
Why not?
Why not?
The skeleton would hear the scream and would be quite afraid. Oh, I displeased the king, but I'd rather not sleep with the king. I think I'm just fine
I'll be
here.
executed.
I'm sure I'd be executed. Sleep with a king. I'm sure I'd be more uncomfortable sleeping with the king anyway. So the night continued, and still no luck for the skeleton for him to sleep. And finally, in the morning, the skeleton gave up altogether and decided to look for himself. What was under the mattresses that would make him feel so uncomfortable each night? But he would take off mattress by mattress just to see that in between the first and second mattress was a tiny baby carrot right in the center of the mattress. Very groggily, the skeleton would pick the carrot and walk outside his door.
To find Forte standing there waiting to ask how he slept.
That's how he
How
slept.
did you sleep?
And the skeleton blinked a few times, almost glaring at the king. So, this was in my bed the entire time. Do you have anything to do with this?
No.
This baby carrot was the only thing in my bed that was hindering my sleep. I thought I could care. You're a king. I came in rags, nothing to cover my feet with, and I thought I would have some decent shelter, decent rest. And I get this 2 nights worth of not even sleeping, and and you call yourself a king. That's it. One more night. I will spend one more night here. If I see or feel anything in my mattresses, I will leave. If I can't sleep, I'm leaving. You got that?
Yes, I got that.
There's a carrot on the floor and stomps over to the couch.
Oh. Maids, make it as comfortable as possible.
So you put all the mattresses.
All the memory foam.
I need memory foam.
I know.
And it's just. And as they did that, the nurses would hear my bruised bones again. Me bruised. Yay! My bruised pelvis and hips. Yay! And the day would keep on going as usual. The virus only eating little. The skeleton only eating
hour.
never an hour. But not enough to King Forte, to which he would be yelled at every time for not eating a whole lot. For no reason at all, because they're both skeletons. And then, night came.
Dun, 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 dun.
The skeleton would wearily go to his bedroom, walking down the hall once more, hearing another rattling sound behind him. Turning around quickly, he would find nothing. Though he was quite uncertain about this time, about that rattling sound. He would go into his room and stare at the fresh and new memory foam beddings that he would get. The mattresses looked so appealing this time and not out of place. The skeleton would then crawl into bed and actually fall asleep this time, surprisingly. Whereas Forte, on the other hand, there was quite a bit of wrestling. This would be all you, by the way. We haven't got to this part, so it's all fresh.
Wait, this cutting to me sleeping?
Yes, because it's all. Why? This is at night, literally. I mean, are you going to be awake all night?
Usually am.
Which is why it cuts to you. If you were actually sleeping, we'd be done.
Forte was having a cup of tea while sitting on the edge of his bed because he felt like it.
Because he felt like it.
In his own pretty girly nightgown because he felt pretty.
He felt like he's okay.
Hey! You're wrong.
He says the one who's bone rattling at literally watching my pelvis go from side to side. Yeah, I see you.
No, he bi.
And then his butler would come around and be like, "Sire, you're not sleeping tonight?"
No.
Why not?
I don't feel like it. Too many things are on my mind.
Like what things? The skeleton is actually sleeping tonight.
I know, but I'm trying to decide if they really are prince or not. I want to marry them so badly.
You know that if it was a prince, you can't exactly marry.
And
So what are
my
you
kingdom,
planning?
my rules!
And what if he doesn't accept?
Uh, I don't know what.
Think
Maybe
about.
the royal family will have to decline.
Hmm, fine, very well. But I must warn you that if he doesn't accept, I'm fairly certain you'll be in quite a disarray. And for that, you must rest.
Hmm, fine. Only for a couple hours.
For a few hours, sire.
Alright. A few hours.
Mm, why? You could just rest all day if you pleased. Besides, the skeleton would be sleeping quite longer than usual now.
Hmm. I suppose that is true. I guess I'll just stay in bed all day. I'll talk to them in the evening over dinner.
Very well, as you wish. And the butler would go away and like shut the door behind him, looking cautiously at Forte before he did so.
Forte
Meanwhile,
would fall over onto his bed, get real comfy like, and fall asleep.
and rattled his bones in his dreams.
Wet dreamer.
Must have skeleton
Burn!
bones.
Oh.
I must have that. I must have that skeleton type. All of the skeletons.
Yes.
Those sorts of skeletons are quite admirable, and I need it.
Mm.
Oh my god.
And
That morning would pass, and it's like the skeleton was sleeping quite soundly this time. He didn't wake up. Forte would wake up, but ask his maids to serve him breakfast.
internet. Oh,
What?
my internet. It's being awful. So I
Oh,
didn't hear what you said.
I just said that you ordered maids to get you breakfast.
Oh, nice.
Boy, you're a
Breakfast
king.
maids. I don't
Do
make
you
my
not know
own
your own
breakfast, my
power?
maids do. No.
Oh my god. No wonder why you're a terrible king.
And I'm aiming to marry a prince instead of a princess.
Right? Like, boy. And
Totally how it works.
it works. Then afternoon would pass, and Forte would be reading up on the news or watching it or whatever, because I don't know, medieval times might have TV, whatever.
Of course, I'm reading about the news. I'm the king.
Right? I was thinking that. And, and during the afternoon, Forte would hear this creaking of a door. It
Huh?
seemed to be from the skeleton's room, and a pattering of feet would be heard on the hallway.
It's him.
It's your ma.
Moons. Bones.
And so the skeleton would go to the dining hall just to see if he was able to get lunch. And to his surprise, the maids have already made stuff for him, and including a bottle of honey.
Tons of them.
Tons of them, which the skeleton was quite surprised at this. He didn't know that the maids had taken such interest in his little quack, but he didn't pay any attention as he decided to eat his lunch. It was a little bit more than usual. Fortunately, Forte didn't see it. Or did he?
Or did he?
Or did he? Da da da.
Dun, dun, dun.
Though I'm fairly certain Forte would be watching the skeleton eat.
Probably. Protective.
And then
Did the maids poison him?
say, "You want to kill him? How dare!"
Ah.
And then all of a sudden, as a butler would walk by with a plate full of chicken, he would trip.
Oh
And and all of its contents would fall onto the skeleton.
no. Oh no.
Ah! Ah! And 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 usually Forte would be quite upset if any of his butlers did that to him. But instead, the skeleton was quite nice. And
Oh.
and as the butler was rambling off of his apologies, the skeleton would just wipe his face off and smile. Like, hey, it's fine. It things happen. It's okay. And he's not. And the butler wasn't used to this.
He was surprised. He was never shown kindness before.
He never showed kindness before, let alone by a figure just as tall as he was. It's so. It's so. It's so the butler went back into the kitchen, greeted by a bunch of the kitchen maids, and saw the shock in his face. They knew that the, this potential skeleton prince, I guess, really, that he was fit to be a prince. Or a prince-like stature. Or something. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Forte is watching this entire thing and going, do I really treat my butlers that badly?
Do I treat my servants that awful? I am awful.
It's Swap. To which the skeleton would turn around to see Forte running off to his room. Ah.
I'm so mean.
Oh, Lord. And then and then that would be when he would be done eating. Lunch was long gone by now, but of course the skeleton felt much better, and seemingly he was given outfits and robes that were really nice, instead of just a bathrobe that you could see through. You nasty. You're like, oh, he's not wearing the robe anymore. No.
Oh no. Fantasy ruined.
And so the skeleton would bide his time throughout the day, talking with all the other mates and having a good time. And then evening came. after which the skeleton would walk back inside to find Forte at the room table, all ready for their little conversation.
Oh no. Nah. Uh, shit. I don't even know what to say.
You said you talked to at dinner, might as well.
Oh.
This is literally you asking me out. Come on, this is easy.
I've been thinking about this for a couple days now, and we haven't been able to find any unengaged royal people or anyone who is fit to be royal. And we recently just ran out, and we've been looking for somebody to fill the role to be by my side in my kingdom. And you happen to be the only person left.
Me? But sir, I came to you in robes. Literally nothing. Not even a sixpence to compensate for all this stuff you've given me. I, I don't even deserve
Well,
this.
we've been going off your personality, more like.
Eh,
That's what it's like to be fit to be royal, after all. And you have a very good personality, I must say. But, um, would you marry me?
Marry you? No.
Uh,
I'll, I'll pass on that. But if you date anyone royal, I guess I wouldn't mind sticking around. But I, d- I'm not sure what you mean by my personality. I'm quite a rotten figure, and as you can see, and as you noticed from my first day, I'm clearly not the most worthiest of people. Honestly, I'm sure you'll find somebody else that's much suited for being more royal than me, after all.
I guess there isn't really anybody else to marry.
I'm sure that you don't have to marry someone in order to add someone into the royalty.
Well, it's not just adding, it's finding someone I have a romantic interest in.
That's clearly not me. You know this, right?
Mm, more like to have children to continue the royal family.
You know it won't happen with me. And I know we're
Yeah,
eating this over a long dinner table, but I'm pretty certain that if you wanted to pick me, I won't be able to do that.
mm,
I'm quite infertile.
I suppose so.
As that said, I wouldn't mind working by your side. I wouldn't mind that at all. But in that case, you're going to have to find somebody to literally be your queen. And I'm not a lady by any sorts of the margin.
Mm,
But I'll
I
leave you
don't
to it now. I'll excuse myself. You think about it.
know.
I'll I'll spend the last night here. I'll I'll possibly leave in the afternoon.
All right.
If you want, I'll be like an apprentice of sorts. But I
Oh,
can't be a romantic relationship partner.
all right.
Thank you, sir. I'll take my leave. And then I'll leave. And then the door would close and the butler would shut it. Told you.
And Forte cries a river,
And then the
quite
butler is
literally a
like,
river.
and then the butler is just like, quick, open the vents. And then right under the dining room table, there would be like those vent looking things like underneath the chairs.
Oh no.
So that the tears would just go.
Oh. Oh.
Because clearly, Forte was quite a crybaby, and Butler knew it.
Poor Forte will continue the family chain.
And then the was like, it's okay. You know, there is still more time.
But there's nobody left.
It's not like you just summoned him out of the blue. I'm sure another person will come by. Another person will take your heart.
I hope so.
It will be alright. But for now, you also need to make a decision on where you will place this man. This tin.
No, I have to think about it.
You have all night, sire.
Alright.
But make haste in making a decision. Time here is a clock.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, sir. Onward to bed.
Alright.
I'll catch you in the morning unless you need me.
Alright, alright. I'm going to bed.
It's like have the mates be like, brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth.
Be like, yes, mom. Jeez, mom.
Hey, Swappy.
What?
We should leave it at cliffhanger to make them mad.
And then no one will know how it ended. Da da da.
Da, da, da.